Hi there, welcome to this behind-the-scenes documentary on my short film ILMIÖ, which translates from Finnish to English as phenomenon. To get things started, I will give you a short description of my project. Late 2025, I wrote a script for my next short film. I have made a couple of those, and now it was pretty much obvious that I needed some external funding to make it the way I wanted it to look and feel. I started playing with the idea of using AI to make it. At least this way I would get some kind of prototype of the short film and obviously learn tons more on the AI production. I was calling it the project All In. I decided that I will give it 2 months and I will mostly work on it whenever I have time between client projects. So it focuses on creating something that is visually good enough to stand on its own legs. I've been using AI quite a lot in my other projects and done a lot of experiments. I'm not an AI pro as such, and I consider most of the outcomes so far slop, even most of the ones that I've made myself. However, it seems to be good enough for many, and I really need to find out what is the current state of the AI. I have set these few ground rules for this project. It will last 2 months. I'm using mostly Vivi.ai and the models inside it. The reason is that this way I get to play in one sandbox that has it all, and I'm pretty familiar with. For sound aspects, I will be using mostly 11 Labs. To fine-tune things, I will not only use AI tools. Instead, I'm aiming for a more hybrid approach using my skills that I've learned from traditional way of working, for example in motion graphics, visual effects and filmmaking. I will be using AI-generated video from various models, but it will not be relying only on prompts. Instead, I will use 3D tools, images and video capture to guide it. Some of the scenes I will make fully by hand. What comes to the script, it is written by myself, not by AI. It is based on an idea I've had in my mind for a little while. Questions that I hope to get answered to. Can I use AI to create a cinematic short form series or film that resonates with the audience? Does this feel good for myself? What are the psychological aspects of this? Does it make you feel like a designer and a filmmaker? Does it evoke any kind of feelings, or does it just leave me feeling empty? So, welcome to the project All In. Before the project started, I had written a short film script. I decided to use that script as a basis for my project. It's a sci-fi horror genre, and it might be a challenge to get it working in an AI production for a couple of reasons. Currently it is in Finnish. I thought about translating, but decided to keep it faithful to the original story that relies heavily on Finnish farm life and scenery and dialogue. The characters need to be believable and consistent, and they should have and provoke emotion. I hope to solve this with actor performance transfer. I will be using driving performances by actors to guide the AI characters. After all, there is quite a lot of talk in the script, and that needs a lot of attention in the creation process and might actually be one of the biggest challenges to make it believable. But I like challenges, and still this is good target for AI-based approach. I will break the story into 3 acts. Before starting, I already solved many of the film's visual aspects, how it should look and feel, and the production principles and references. That part was created as the script was evolved. The script is not made by AI, instead it's my original story that I chose to target for this project. Translating the story into AI is the challenge and not going to be easy. Next, I started creating some test images for the scenery and characters and test out some blocking of the shots. I used some 3D characters for reference, and they were quite helpful in the blocking of the actual shots. It always starts with an idea. After that, I start writing. In this case, it led to a full script with all dialogue and details. That was a good starting point in creating the characters. Creating the key locations was done with the help of real location images. Same thing for the characters. I had images of real actors who would later on also provide the driving performance. I also created the key props for the scenes. Now I had characters, locations and props. It was time to find the right blocking and angles with these ingredients. I created first the images, then recorded the driving performances and created the videos. After that, I upscaled the whole thing in Topaz. Then editing in Premiere, adding of visual effects, elements, sound effects, and finally grading. Each one of these scenes was one Divi.ai project. That way I could keep the files at reasonable size and well organized. The music was created last. I created that in Logic Pro. More about that later on. Next I will show you how I take one scene from the script and build it from the beginning. This is the scene 20 in the script. Here's the English translation of the scene. I used C4D to block out some shots in this scene. The images produced out of Gemini were pretty good, and after some trickery they matched with the vision I had. These would work as good base for the upcoming videos. Usually 3D reference image for blocking works quite okay with Nano Banana, although there are some misunderstandings occasionally. This sentence seemed to help using the 3D composition in a proper way. Change the camera angle and blocking as in the 3D reference image. The outcome of this test gave me more confidence in AI film. However, the picture quality is still pretty far from real, and there are a lot of weird artifacts occasionally. But regardless, this way I get a prototype of a film at least. I have now been creating images for the key locations. I have a little storyboard that I use, and it's very useful in defining the need for images. But during the experimentation, I also found more useful shots than I was planning originally in the storyboard. So I started with the main farm and the house. I used some photos of my friend's cottage and gave them to Nano Banana to get some additional angles. I made some virtual set extensions in a way. Here you can see the original images and how they were edited inside Nano Banana. I also made some quick grading tests just for fun at this point. I have to say that I'm pretty impressed of the quality and resolution of the generated images at this point, and how well Gemini holds the details when changing camera angles. So I'm feeling rather hopeful at this point. This might actually work. I need to start creating the characters of the story next. Good to start here, as they are the key to success. If the characters are not believable, it will not work. Again, I had some actor friends that I wanted to use in the film, so I used pictures of them to help guiding the AI. For the woman and kid, I had no reference, so it was interesting to see if they would be believable, as they would be generated fully with AI, and I would be acting those parts. Earlier, I had some good experience with transferring performances, and after some research, I came up with a pretty good process. Creating character sheets based on reference images. After that, using Gemini for shot blocking, and then video generation with Kling. Video did not create very good material, so I'm staying away from that at the moment. Then I uprest the videos in Topaz with my custom settings. I think AI can produce quite believable characters as long as they are not to be used as digital doubles of real people. So things are looking quite promising at the moment. I made my first all-in test video. I think I found a decent process for creating good quality video. I made the key images and then used Nano Banana to derive new images and angles. After that, I used Kling to create the videos. So far, Kling has been producing the best quality. Seedance 2.0 came at this point, but I had no access to it for now. After the Kling output is ready, I use again Topaz to upscale the video. In edit, I made some quick color grading, which helped even more. The models will probably get a lot better, and seems that new versions are coming out almost every week now. Few words about the movie before the movie. Yeah, the title sequence. The part that usually is made skippable in many streaming services. However, a good title sequence can take the content into a new level. Take, for example, Apple TV Plus Severance or an iconic film like Seven. Title sequence is also very important for me personally. I think it is the first contact to the upcoming experience. It sets the mood, expectations, and can work as a prologue to the story, setting things up. Ever since Kyle Cooper made the 7 titles, I have been a fan of them since. It was also one of the reasons I originally got interested in motion graphics. For this project, I had a very clear idea for the intro. I did not want to reveal anything, but I wanted to give hints using the spherical shapes and organic energy bursts. This sequence was fully made by hand in very analog way. I shot some inks, or basically milk and soap, and some coloring to get these weird effects. I think they create nice mystical feeling, so no AI used in these shots. For the music part, I did not want to create AI music. I guess this part also makes this project a bit more hybrid than purely AI. I have a background in music, so it was sort of a low-hanging fruit for me. I kind of had an idea what the music would sound like in this film and what feelings it should convey. Maybe AI would have done a better job, but in the end, I'm very happy with the themes and cues that I created. At least I have total ownership of that part. I used Logic Pro X to build my themes. I made quite a few visual effects shots to this film without AI. I mostly used Cinema 4D for the sphere effects, some character animations, and After Effects for compositing stuff into the right place. To be honest, I don't consider peer prompting to be very creative. I've had a lot of experience where I feel kind of empty after using AI. A bit like scrolling social media and getting brain rot symptoms. I consider myself a craftsman, and jumping into AI or adapting to AI-based working methods has not always been easy. I still do the majority of my projects the old way, using tools that don't generate anything unless you do. But when I combine these two approaches, making short films is kind of fun again. Of course, nothing beats the real life set, that is always the thing for me. Or animating keyframes by hand, or doing 3D design and rendering and compositing elements. But using hybrid approach is actually kind of fun. In fact, creating scene setups in 3D for AI can be quite fulfilling. That way I feel I can better direct the AI, or capturing an actor's performance and then trying to fit it best into the AI model. Those aspects make it feel like I'm doing something real using my own creativity. I have now started to realize that I can go back and fine-tune the performance and look and feel. I don't need to reboot the crew again for that. I love the real set too much. I love creating things by hand and adjusting details. But maybe a hybrid path between these two opposites is the most interesting for me at the moment. That way I have more control and the work is more satisfying. I hope you enjoyed this documentary on my film. Thank you for watching.
No, mitä mieltä olette tästä?
Joo, pitää nyt vielä kuitenkin vähän enemmän tutkia asioita ja mahdollisesti ottaa vähän vielä lisää valokuvia. Sääpallo. Valitettavasti turhan usein ihmiset kuvittelevat asioita.
No se oli kyllä painavaa metallia. Tai jotain. Ei mikään ilmapallo.
Niissä saattaa olla kaikenlaisia erilaisia komponentteja, tutkimusvälineitä. Tiedättehän.
No mutta kun minä löin sitä. Isolla saatana oksalla. Ja se lensi tiehensä.
Niin. Kyseessä saattaa silti olla jonkinlainen joukkohypnoosi tai hysteria.